Shalom, children. Wasn't it exciting to hear last week's story? I still get goosebumps thinking about walking through the middle of the sea and not even getting your shoes wet. And what a celebration they had on the other side with all that dancing and singing. I don't know about you, but I would still be singing weeks later. Yahweh had miraculously rescued them from the cruel slavery of the Mitzrites, so they could begin serving Him in the way He always intended. Today, we are going to pick up our story 3 months after they crossed the Red Sea. Let's see what is going on with the Israelites now. Remember many months ago when Yahweh spoke to Moshe through the burning bush on the mountainside? Well, now the Israelites found themselves at that same mountain. This time, Yahweh told Moshe that he was going to speak to him in a cloud. His voice would be so loud that all the people would be able to hear him and would believe when Moshe shared his words with them. When Moshe came down from the mountain, he told the people that Yahweh had told him to say that the Israelites were always to remember the amazing things he had done for them. He had rescued them and brought them out of Mitzrayim so quickly and safely that it was as if they were flying on an eagle's wing. Yahweh also said that if they obeyed, he would protect them, and they would be like a special treasure to him. The Israelites would stand out amongst all the other people Yahweh created. They would be like no one else he ever made. Moshe also told the Israelites that in 3 days Yahweh would speak to them. The Israelites were excited. The memory of the plagues was still fresh in their minds, so they promised that whatever Yahweh told them to do, they would gladly do. Now, there was a lot to be done before they would be allowed to come anywhere near the mountain. Remember, there were over 600,000 people living all together and moving around together. The people had been in the same stinky clothes for months now, and Yahweh wanted them to take baths, wash their clothes, and keep themselves very clean. Yahweh didn't want the people to get too close to the mountain either. Remember how Moshe had to take his sandals off and keep his distance because he was standing on set-apart ground? Well, this time Yahweh was going to make the whole mountain set apart. He wanted a border built all around the bottom of the mountain, just in case anyone let curiosity get the best of them and get too close. The border would not only protect the people, but also any animals from dying from the great strength of Yahweh's power and presence in case they strayed. So, maybe whilst the women were busy doing laundry and giving their children baths, the men were busy working on making the border. After all, this was no small mountain, and they had only 3 days to get the border built. Finally, the 3 days had gone by. The border was finished, and the people were all nice and clean. Can you imagine the excitement? They had all seen the miracles Yahweh could perform, and they had heard how Moshe always said, "Yahweh told me to tell you." Well, I bet some were wondering if Yahweh really talked to Moshe, and now they were finally going to get to hear Yahweh for themselves. Finally, the moment came. They heard loud thunder and saw many flashes of lightning. And as if that wasn't enough, there was a shofar sounding from the mountaintop, louder than anything they had ever heard. The whole mountain was smoking because Yahweh had come down on the mountain like fire, and the mountain was shaking. Yahweh told Moshe to come up with Aaron, but no one else. He also wanted Moshe to warn the people to stay a safe distance from the mountain. Yahweh then started talking to the people, and this is when the instructions that we know as the 10 Commandments were given to the Israelites. He said, 1. I am Yahweh your Elohim. 2. Don't make idols in the shape of things you see, like animals in the sea, or things in the sky, or things on the earth. Yahweh wanted them to know that He was the only God they were to worship, and they were not to treat Him like others treated their false gods. Yahweh had told them what His name was. They knew that the gods other people worshipped were false, and couldn't even introduce themselves. 3. Yahweh said, "Don't make my name be meaningless, because that would make me very sad." 4. Yahweh said, "Remember that I took 6 days to create everything that exists anywhere, including people. So that's how many days you have every week to get all your work done and to let your family and workers do their jobs. The 7th day is a time to rest. Stop what you normally do and rest." Yahweh wanted us to know how to love Him and show Him respect. Next, Yahweh wanted the people to know how to show respect for each other. So He gave the 5th commandment. He said, "Honor your parents." This time, Yahweh gave Moshe a promise to tell the Israelites, but it would only happen if they kept this command. The special promise was that they would live long in the land He gave them. Yahweh continued. He said, 6. Do not murder. Do not kill someone unless you are defending yourselves. 7. Once you get married, stay faithful to each other. 8. Don't take things that don't belong to you. 9. Don't say that your neighbor did something or said something that they didn't. 10. Be happy with what you have, and don't be jealous of what others have. The people heard and became scared because so many things were happening at once. There was mighty thunder, a great shofar blowing louder and louder. They saw the smoke all over the mountain and heard the voice of Yahweh talking. They begged for Moshe to go back to just telling them what Yahweh said instead of having to hear his awesome voice for themselves. Moshe told them not to worry, because Yahweh was only letting them hear Him, so they would know He was real. He meant for them to see how great He was, so that they would understand that He was always to be respected and obeyed. I am sure that in Mitzrayim, the people were used to seeing images of gold and silver that were supposed to represent Him. But Yahweh told them not to ever make images of gold or silver for that purpose. Instead, Yahweh wanted them to build an altar of stones. Not pretty ones. They had designed or cut into perfect shapes, but just regular stones they picked up from the ground. There is a lot more in store for the Israelites in their new lives. But that is the end of our story for this week, so we will see you next time for another exciting Torah portion. Shalom.